Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where we need to implement these switch statements at this point. We don't really have the ability to progress without doing it anymore. So it'll be a little tedious, but first we'll do case vehicle type, and this will be plane, return plane, case vehicle type dot ship, return ship, case vehicle type dot train, return train, and finally, case vehicle type dot truck, return truck. So that's easy enough for the vehicle balance. Unfortunately, that's not really the one we needed to implement. We need to do the building balance, which will be a little bit more in-depth, shall we say. But, I mean, that'll be perfectly fine. So, we've got our postal office here. Next up is car berth and sorting facility. So, case building.car berth, return car berth. Case building.sorting facility, return sorting facility. There we go. And then next up will be truck berth, staging area, fueling station. So, case building.truck berth, return truck berth. Case building dot, and this one will be staging area. Return staging area. Case building dot fueling station. Return fueling station. Okay, next up will be engine berth, railroad depot, and railroad. Case building dot. Actually, I just thought of something. This actually isn't going to fix this because we've only implemented these, which are the ones that we actually control. So let's actually do a public building balance generic. And we'll have this in the default return generic rather than null. There we go. So now we're going to be able to set up non-R buildings. So case building dot, let's see, truck berth, staging area, fueling station we already did. So engine berth, railroad depot, and railroad. Engine berth, return engine berth. Case building dot railroad depot, return railroad depot. Case building dot railroad, return railroad. No, not railroad depot, just railroad. Okay, and then next up we need our port, which is ship berth, loader crane, dockyard. We still don't know what dockyard does. Case building dot ship berth, return ship berth. Case building dot dockyard, return dockyard. Case building dot loader crane, return loader crane. Okay, so now all we need to do is our airport here. Runway, hangar, control tower. So, case building dot runway, return runway. That's not how you spell. Return runway. Case building dot hangar, return hangar. And case building dot control tower, return control tower. Perfect. And then otherwise we'll return our generic building. How much do we want that generic building to cost to demolish? I don't know yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and compile that up. There we go. And head into our generic here. So building type on none would be fine. Construction cost, we'll have that be just the land base cost. Demolition cost, we'll have at 300 for right now. Upkeep, we'll have at 30 for, actually 120 for right now. And then sorting and loading capacity, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely not got any vehicles to store. Okay. So with that, we should be able to do everything we could do before, except we have better controls over all of this. And if we want to implement different costs to demolish non-our buildings, that's a possibility. But I think for right now, we should go ahead and go on in here. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Okay. First thing we should do is name our company. Yes, of course. Great job. Press next. Surveying land. Let's survey some land. Here we go. Press next. Biome X. Let's purchase some land. Buy land. Next. We're gonna buy this factory. Yes. Okay. Enter demolition mode. There we go. So this is the hex that we own right here. And we're gonna go ahead and demolish it. Kaboom. That building is history. Demolition cost of none, $300. Oh my. Does that actually work? It does. It does actually work to demolish a non-existent building. We should probably have a check there. Okay, let's go into construction mode. Delivery and sorting, postal office. Okay, just left click on the hex to construct it. It costs $500. There we go. We've got ourselves a post office now, but we don't have a vehicle for it. So let's exit the construction interaction mode. Select this. Sorting capacity 1 per hour, loading capacity 5 meters cubed per hour, vehicle capacity 1 delivery vehicle, transport capacity 10 meters cubed. Now I don't think it's actually reading that off of the balance variables right now. I think that's just the default view there, which is a wee bit unfortunate. But then we've got this delivery vehicle, and I believe the U means that there's nothing in the slot, but pressing the button also doesn't do anything. So, a couple of things. First, we can demolish the same hex over and over again, even when there's nothing in there. Let's go ahead and go into our building hex and fix that. So if we're in demolition mode, if it contains hex ID, then we should probably run a check if, hang on, insert, there we go. So if our current building is, if manager.selected world hex .biome hexes xid .biome hex, this square bracket closing it, .buildings hexid .building hex equals building.none, then we should debug.log replace men. No, that's not what I'm going for here. Just replace me, and we are going to be telling it to just put out a message saying, you're trying to bulldoze an, wow, I cannot type, an empty hex. And then we just make this simply an else if. Like that. There. Now it won't demolish if there isn't a building there. Perfect. Now the next thing we need to implement is our next step in our tutorial. Let's go up to our tutorial up over here. We've cleared the land. We've got ourselves a post office. We don't have a delivery vehicle. Exit construction by selecting any hex. Okay. So let's go into our tutorial script here. Make sure that this has 12 in it. There we go. And we will do hex selection. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this for right now. I just want to verify that it works. And then we will go ahead and come in here and verify that when we select the hex, this should have like an on hex selection. Yes, indeed it does. hex selection window.gameObject.setActive true, and then hex selection window has a reference to the info panel field. That's great. Let's go ahead and see. This is an on enable, so it does actually give you this stuff, and it gives you a title, but it doesn't fill out. If I pop open the hex selection window here, it doesn't actually fill out this field. It fills out this, but not this. Okay. So let's go ahead and implement this, and this will be the info panel field.text equals. And how are we going to fill this out? Well, we've got, if I can, let me just split my screen here. Operation logistics, excellent. And let's see here. Info panel field.text equals, this will be sorting capacity plus, and then it would be our sorting capacity. So we've got our building type. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and do building equals manager dot all of this. All of this. Type of building. There we go. And we can bring that up onto a single line. It won't be a problem once I... No, I don't want a breakpoint there. Once I adjust this slightly. Something like... Oh, come on. There we go. Something like that. Of course, we don't need manager.manager. There we go. So our sorting capacity would then be business dot balance dot get building balance from type, and then we pass in our building, and then this would be our sorting capacity dot toString plus, and then we'll need a space, something along the lines of that, plus a new line. Actually, we can just do the new line here, plus, and then we'll head down to this line, and we'll do our loading capacity. Loading capacity. And one thing I'm noticing that is not in this list that probably should be is the upkeep. Let's go ahead and go into the Text Mesh Pro text here, and let's think about adding in another line. Facility upkeep. Upkeep. No. Facility upkeep. And then we'll say something like 10 per month. For right now. Actually, for a postal office, I think it's 50 per month. No, not 500. No. I think it's 50 per month. Let's go ahead and have the top and bottom be more like 5. So that this fits in a little bit better. Just want to... Can't really tell. I just want to check this. Yeah, that fits just fine. So we'll do that. We'll put this onto a new line here. Equals facility upkeep. We'll just make sure that it's straight like that. And then plus business dot balance dot get building balance dot type. Actually, let's just do this. We'll make this easier. Building balance equals business dot balance dot get building balance from type building. There. Then we can just say plus balance dot sorting capacity dot toString And then here we can just say balance dot upkeep dot toString, and this will be of type C plus, and this is per month, and then we'll add a line break, and then our sorting capacity, and then our loading capacity would be balance dot loading capacity dot toString plus per hour, and then we'll do a line break, plus our next one would be vehicle capacity plus balance dot vehicle capacity dot toString plus we'll need the vehicle type. And we don't have a good way to get a well-formatted string. So for right now, I think we'll go ahead and add a space, and then add in a system.enum.getName type of vehicle type, and then balance.type. Or rather, balance.vehicle type, vehicle storage type. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of a hacky way to get around it, but for now, that's what we'll do. We can always change it later. No, I don't want a quality level, Unity. You can stop that. Okay, transport capacity. Well, that doesn't fit quite as well as the others. Makes me a little sad. Plus balance.transport capacity. Transport capacity is how much you can move every hex every hour, right? So essentially, the transport capacity is the vehicle capacity. What exactly is it? How is that calculated? It's how much you can move one hex every hour from this, but that doesn't take into account the sorting or loading speeds, does it? Maybe it should be something more like transport rating, which would allow us to bring this back 2 spaces, which would be nice, plus, and then the transport rating could be automatically assigned in some way, potentially. Balance.transport rating.toString. Like so. Do we have a line break here? We do not. Plus a line break. Plus this. And of course, the transport rating currently doesn't exist. So we can go ahead and have one. We can put in a property here, and it would be something along the lines of public float transport capacity, and then we would just have a get. And what would this return? This would return some sort of a number. It could be something like, say, the vehicle capacity times that vehicle's capacity. So return, we'll cast this over to a float, vehicle capacity times vehicle storage type. We don't have access up here. We have no way to access the delivery vehicle's cargo capacity from this class right now. Okay. So how do I want to tackle this then? Because I would want it to be like a vehicle capacity times vehicle cargo capacity times vehicle speed divided by sorting capacity and loading capacity, maybe? I don't know. Maybe we should just cut that. Take that out of the tooltip. And just end it right here, like that. And then we would just remove the transport capacity. And we'd have space for another line later on if we wanted to put one in. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, that should be fine. So I think the next thing that we need to implement would be, after we select the building, we need to put in a vehicle delivery, or a delivery vehicle into the building, since it does not come with one. And at that point, that's basically just click the button to put in a delivery vehicle, and then you can click the button with a delivery vehicle there to select the vehicle, to select the delivery vehicle, and then you can create a route, and then the vehicle will go pick up mail along the route and deliver mail if it has any to begin with. And yeah, we're getting very close, actually. I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode we'll start implementing some of that stuff. See you all then.